Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. Make sure you're subscribing to this podcast wherever you're listening, or maybe you're watching on YouTube. Just search DeHuff Uncensored, or maybe you want to search or look at me on YouTube. Maybe it's very pleasant to some people. Some people a little put off on it. But either way, just search DeHuff Uncensored on YouTube. And then wherever you're listening or watching, just make sure you subscribe and then share it with your friends. That wasn't messy. Oh, sorry. I'm a little off today. The way I set up my broadcast here is I basically have my laptop and it's on our desk in the living room. And the way I have my camera set up, I can look at myself. Hi. Hey. But anyway, it looks, it sits on a crooked piece of wood. Listen, this is not an elaborate setup. If you watch me on YouTube, you'll see that I have a plant behind me, I have a Christmas tree behind me, and blinds. Like I'm in my living room. Anyway, I can't tell if I'm lopsided or not because, like I said, I try to tilt the camera to offset the tilted thing on the desk. Anyway, so before I got on, I'm actually like looking in the camera and looking at my nipples and going, are my nipples lopsided? In the camera, are they? Then I realized, huh, my nipples are hard now. Anyway, so as I'm doing this episode, just remember, my nipples are probably hard during the entire thing. You're welcome. Got a got a lot to get your. Oh my God, you are ruined for the day. Or maybe your day is brighter now that you know that now you know what you're doing right now. You're probably guys, you're probably rubbing your nipples. Ladies, I don't know. Listen, I don't want to cross that line, but you can if you want. But guys, you know you're touching your own nipples now. You're welcome. It's fun. And we got a lot to get to. Got some crazy stories. One, how I damaged my daughter, and it was unintentional, but it gets confusing. Get more into that. Christmas. Got some stuff in regards to Christmas gifts. And I think it's going to be eye-opening for some of you. And funny. And then also things not to stick up your anus. We'll get into that. But let's start off with a little catch-up real quick. But yesterday I took my wife out for lunch on a date. The kids were off at their GAM's house, helping them put up decorations. So my wife and I are like, let's go get sushi. We love sushi. And we have this great place over by our house. And I had never ordered ramen from a restaurant. I'm always used to that like top ramen shit that you get at the grocery store, which is like 10 cents or whatever it is. It's real cheap. That's what I'm like, ramen? Why would I get ramen? Then I look at the pictures that they had on the menu and I'm like, oh my God, that looks amazing. So I ordered a spicy ramen. Amazing. Delicious. That's like one of my top food items whenever I go to a sushi place is I'm going to get sushi and that, and maybe something else. But it was amazing. Delicious. Didn't realize my wife had to show me how to eat it because you have to eat it with a spoon as well as chopsticks or a fork. I got a fork. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys. I can use chopsticks to eat sushi, but I'm just not skilled enough yet to eat noodles with it. But so anyway, so she had to show me how to eat it. I'm an idiot, but it was delicious. But what sucked was as I'm enjoying this, I'm very excited. You know how when you just discover something new to you and you're like, this is amazing. This is delicious. And I'm like so in love with the flavors in my mouth. And then all of a sudden as I'm slurping up some of the sauce or whatever, I start to burp. And it's spicy. Again, I'm right near the end of this too. So there's a lot of spice that just settled on the bottom. So I take a big bite or big slurp of the spicy sauce and I start to burp. And then it's just this bad reaction of stuff going down the wrong tubes. And then next thing I know, the sauce goes up my sinuses. And like I'm like like that, just like freaking out. And then all of a sudden blood squirts out my nose. Yes, blood. Uh, Bad reaction, bad timing. I don't know what it is. It's very dry here in Colorado. So I'm guessing I was on the verge of having a bloody nose, and this just kind of set it off. And then just like blood just sprays on my table where I was eating. And my wife's like, "What the fuck? What just happened?" Like I don't know. And but I didn't realize I squirt blood yet. Because she's like, "What's on your hand? What is that? What the?" She's all, check the other side of your hand. So I flip my hand around. I'm like, there's blood everywhere. Then I look down. Then there's the spatter, the blood spatter. It was a crime scene. It was a true detective moment. What the hell just happened? So I immediately clean up the area. Then I went to the bathroom and just I finished our date with napkin stuck up my nose. It was great. It was fun, horrifying, but fun. And I can't believe that I discovered uh, spicy ramen this late in my life. I wish I would have tried it sooner. It's delicious, and I can't wait to try it again. I don't care. I'm not completely traumatized by this. I want to eat it again. Oh, it's so good. I will do have one critique of this restaurant. They have a bar in the corner, and it's a nice atmosphere. It's at the Denver outlets, and I can't remember. It's like Sachi Sushi. Really good place. I recommend it for anybody that is looking for a good sushi place. But the one thing that irritated me is the bar was playing like hip hop music that was cursing nonstop, and not just cursing, but using like I mean, it's like legit hip hop, just no censorship. So it's using like dropping the N word and stuff like that, and I'm like, there's children in here, and I don't know if they notice what's going on as far as the employees. They're like the music's blaring. They're like, this is not acceptable for this environment. I was uncomfortable. But that being said, I just ignored it and just ate my spicy ramen and then bled everywhere. Great. I haven't showered yet. I feel really weird and dirty right now. Do you guys ever do that where like I woke up late today. It was one of those mornings where it was cold out. We had a cold snap last night here, and I just was like so warm and comfortable in my bed, and it's the kids had to get up for school, and we all of us just did not want to get out of bed. So I'm like, fuck. And then finally, I'm like, hey, I got to get out of bed. So I just rolled out of bed and I'm like, I'll shower later. And I have yet to shower. So I'm doing this greasy, greasy with hard nipples and grease on the next Duff Uncensored. You're welcome. Boy, I can write promos like nobody's business. Before we get in the headlines, I told you in the teaser that I accidentally told my daughter something that she believed in wasn't real. And I had no idea. We've talked about this plenty of times. There's so many things that we just stretch the truth on or just flat out lie to our children about. Well, this is one that I just didn't ever think about. And I broke her heart and I felt so bad. We're reading a book called How to Catch a Leprechaun. And they have How to Catch a Tooth Fairy. They have How to Catch the Easter Bunny or something like that. But I didn't think that she thought leprechauns were real. I had no idea. So we're reading it, and she said, "Oh, they're scary. He's scary looking." I was like, "It's fine. It's like he's not real. They're not real. Just like, don't worry about it." And she looks at me and she starts to cry, her eyes out. I felt awful. Like it wasn't like fake tears or just like a gentle cry. It was a sobbing, "Dad, you just tore my heart out and threw it against the wall." And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. I was like, I am so, but I didn't back down that they weren't real. I was just like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you believed in them, type of thing. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm such an awful dad. I didn't know. I mean, they're fucking leprechauns. Jeez, who gives a shit? But she apparently gave a shit and she was heartbroken. And it took me like 5 minutes of just talking to her calmly and, saying, listen, they're not real. Don't be a dummy. They're not real. I didn't say that. But I just didn't think that she thought those were real. You got so many other things that we stretch the truth on. I was talking to a parent the other day as I'm waiting for my kids to get out of school, and somehow we got onto the lies that we tell our kids, and she was telling me that her son found out the truth about Santa Claus when he was 10. Because I asked her because she had an older kid, and I was like, when did he find out, or does he know? And she's like, he found out just a little while ago, and he's 10. I'm like, fuck, okay. But the kid had pieced it together, and it was just like gnawing at him. And he's just like, oh my God, there's something there. This isn't right. And he flat out asked her when it was just him and the mom in the car, and he said, listen, Mom, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense. Tell me the truth. She's like, are you sure you want to know the truth? And, absolutely. Tell me the truth. And she told him. And he's like, okay. I kind of figured that. I was like, oh, shit. And she said he handled it well. And now he's part of the game with the younger one. I'm like, oh, my God. And part of me is just like, I can't wait for that moment. But then the other part of me is like, I fear that moment, especially with the leprechaun thing. I saw how devastating it was, and realizing that the kids just fall into this fantasy, and how great it is, how just magical it is to think that all these things are there. Oh, I don't. More of me doesn't look forward to it because it's just so sweet and innocent, so sweet and innocent. I mean, they just believe everything I tell them right now, and it's great. I have so much control over my children right now, and it makes me happy. And it should make you happy if your kids still believe in everything. Because one day they're not, and then they're just going to be greedy little assholes. Now, speaking of greedy little assholes, let's get into some headlines. Okay, so real quick, I'm having a brain fart day, so I had to go back and make sure I was actually recording. Because god damn it, if today's going to be a day that I forget to hit record, that today would be the day. All right, so today I brought up, okay, see, my brain, it's fried. What the hell? Anyway, so I was going through and trying to find some headlines, and then I stumbled upon this. There's a lady that was complaining that her boyfriend doesn't like to give gifts, doesn't believe in it. So let's hear from this lady. Now I'm just going to read from it. Today I brought up that I couldn't wait for Christmas, and I was wondering what my parents were going to get me, she said. Then her boyfriend launched into this giant rant about how he doesn't agree with buying presents for others. She was floored by this idea that her boyfriend had just told her. She asked, so you're not getting me anything? To which he responded, nah. Hold on. Let's replay this. Only she's going to be a valley girl. Today I brought up that I couldn't wait for Christmas, and I was like wondering what my parents were going to get for me. Then her boyfriend launched into the rant. So you're not going to get me anything? And he responded, like, no. He went on to tell her that he's never bought gifts for anyone, so there's no reason why she should be any different. We spoke for a long while about why and such, but it's not important, as in the end, he still isn't going to get me anything. I feel as if I'm obviously not too important for him to care. Okay, anyway, I screwed that up. Anyway, he feels that as if I'm obviously not too important to him, and he hasn't gone out of his way to get me even a tiny gift. Okay, jeez. Now here, I'm a little torn on this. At least, if you're in a financial strain, I get it, dude. What do we always do every single holiday season? We always stretch ourselves way too thin. And then come January, February, we're going, oh my God, why did we spend so much money around the holidays? Just, we shouldn't have done this. The kids aren't even playing with it, or that somebody just tossed that aside. Have you ever bought somebody a gift and they literally look at it and then toss it aside? That happened to me once, and it just drove me nuts. And it taught me a lesson. Don't buy somebody a gift unless you know for a fact that they're going to appreciate it. I went to, we'll get back to this lady real quick, but I'm taking a quick detour. Come along with me. So I went, this is before I had kids. My wife and I went to Australia, and we were having a great time out there. And at the time, I worked for The Fan, 104.3 The Fan. And at the time, I produced the Mike and Scott show, Mike Evans, Scott Hastings. And I was like, as we're leaving, we're about to head to the airport. I was like, my wife's like, you should get something for the guys, just to say, hey, whatever, just something silly. So I bought Mike Evans a deck of playing cards with naked women on it. I was like, that's funny, whatever. Mike's a pervert. He'll enjoy this. And then the other gift, I think I gave them both like ponchos. I may have got them both the exact same thing. So they both got ponchos. They both got the same deck of cards, right? So it's funny. It's stupid. It's meaningless, essentially. But it's just more of a gesture of here's a gift. And this is kind of funny. So I give the guys the gift. This is what Mike Evans does. He looks at the gift, doesn't even unwrap it, and then he tosses it to the side. Guess what? That thing sat there for like 4 days. Like, who does that? Now, I will say this. Hastings opened it up, said thank you. And he actually, I spoke to him a couple years later, and he still had that rain poncho in his glove box. So I appreciated that. Whereas Mike Evans, that greedy, selfish little shit, tossed it aside. It broke my heart. You son of a bitch, Mike. Anyway, I'm over it. For the most part. All right, now back to the story. This lady, she's like, I deserve a gift. And part of me is like, yeah. Now I'm going to toss aside and put aside the idea that they're in some financial strain. Because if you're in financial strain, you shouldn't worry about holidays, in my mind. Because what's more important? Keeping walls around you, a roof over your head, and food in your tummies. That's like what's the most important thing. Not buying meaningless gifts that nobody cares about, for the most part. So we're going to put that aside and assume that's not part of the equation. So my thought is he's being kind of a dick. At least. So if they have this conversation and he's adamant that he's not going to buy her anything and she's like brokenhearted, what he needs to do is at least buy her something small. Get her something. Doesn't have to be huge. Just I don't even know. It doesn't have to be like this $100 necklace, although advertisers around this time of year, that's all they project on us and they shove in our faces. We talked about that before. Oh, buy her a necklace. He loves you when he buys you this $10,000 necklace. It doesn't have to be like that. Just get her something. Get her a gift card to Kohl's. I don't know. It's just something little. if you're the guy that doesn't buy anything for anybody and she feels that you don't look at her as anything special and you continue not to buy anything for her, but if you end up buying her something small, be like, listen, I don't normally do this, but okay, you're somebody special to me. And I think we have a future together. And she opens up that box that you wrapped with your own two hands, and she opens it up, and it's like this light is shining out of it. And then she looks at it and she's like, oh my God, a $25 gift card to Taco Bell. I love you. We're going to have babies together. I guarantee it. Okay, so so something is better than nothing. That being said, if he doesn't buy you anything, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. Does it? I don't feel that's the case. If he doesn't believe in buying gifts for people because maybe that's how he grew up, you don't buy gifts for people. You instead share your love with people. We have very little information on how this guy is on every other aspect of the relationship. So he could be the greatest guy in the fucking world and constantly taking her out and just waiting on her hand and foot and just treating her like a princess or something like that. And he's just a good guy. He just doesn't buy gifts for the holidays. Does that mean the relationship is over? Maybe you're the problem, lady. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, you did not. Yes, I did. Gifts are great. But how does he treat you? Does he treat you well? Is this his only flaw for the most part? Maybe you just need to take a step back. Do you actually need a gift to be happy? I don't know. You sound like a bitch. I don't know. I just don't think you need gifts all the time to be happy. I know what she needs. I'll give her a present. How about it's my cock? Hey, Connery! Were you going to say cock? You don't say cock on this podcast. I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, how's your mother? She's good. That's great, because I banged her last night. What the fuck? Connery. This is a family show. This is like the furthest thing from a family show. All right, coming up next, weird gift ideas. Oh, and some of you guys helped out on this. But first, since 2010, Terrapin Care Station has been providing patients and customers with premium cannabis products at low prices. Hey, speaking of gifts for the holidays, there you go. Terrapin Care Station. And you can order online. You can order quickly and conveniently. Very easy. For up-to-date products and promotions, head to terrapincarestation.com. That's spelled TERRAPIN, carestation.com. Or go visit one of their 6 convenient Colorado locations. They have an incredibly friendly and professional staff who's going to help you find the cannabis products that are right for you. Whether if it's one of their dispensaries or just around town, you're always going to feel welcome and well cared for. You're free to be you at Terrapin, not just because you love weed, but because at Terrapin, weed loves you back. Again, check them out at terrapincarestation.com. Again, TERRAPIN, carestation.com. Terrapin, flower to the people. I'm raising my eyebrows, and it's just really weird looking. Anyway, all right, next. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking at myself, and as of right now, I think my nipples are lopsided. Or maybe I'm sitting crooked. Hold on. If you're on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. Wait. Yeah, we're level now. Oh, and those things are ready to cut glass. Look at that. Oh my God. You can hear that too. You're welcome. Anyway, weird Christmas gift ideas via the Huffington Post. They wrote an article about it. And I wanted to hold on. Yeah, we'll just use theirs. All right, so they did some weird article on some weird Christmas gift ideas, and some of them are really good. Some of them I left off because they suck, and that's what you get. But I picked out some of the best ones, and I think this should be a new tradition. We people take gifts way too seriously, unless it's something that somebody truly desperately needs, like socks and underwear. Get them something silly. I think that would be great. And first on the list, musical toilet paper rolls. That would be amazing. I should have thought about this before, but I'm curious what would be the best song to have on your toilet paper roll? I guess like every time you pull it, it just starts playing a song. Oh, Wipeout. Wipeout. I don't know if that would be good or not, but it would be kind of annoying after a while. You just hear that coming out. Somebody's in the bathroom. Where's Todd? He's in the bathroom. Wipeout. Wipeout. God, he's using a lot of toilet paper. Yeah. He had tacos. The next one, bacon scented wrapping paper. I like this if you don't have animals in the house. If you have animals in the house, that's going to drive them nuts, don't you think? If it's good, if it's well done. I love the smell of bacon. Oh my God. So good. If it's nice, thick, crispy bacon, I love that. Oh, that's such a good flavor. Got such a good sensation to eat bacon. I love bacon. I can't get enough. And especially if it's like smoked maple bacon. Oh my Lord. Love it. Love bacon. Can't get enough of it. I hate when, real side note, I hate when I go to get a bacon cheeseburger somewhere and then the bacon they give me is either just too floppy, like they didn't even fucking cook it, or it's just like super thin. Like, fuck off. Give me some thick, crispy bacon, please. Ah, man, I hate that. Next one was a toilet snake. Now this one's weird. When you hear it, it's like, what the fuck is a toilet snake? Not the thing that you stick down there to unclog it, but this is it looked like it's inflatable. Oh, either way, it floats on water, and it's like this cobra like snake that like when you open the lid, it pops up. It's like that's funny for the whole family. I really got to take a shit. Really got to take a shit. You go in there. Ah! Well, just shit my pants. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Could you imagine? Oh, I'd be so pissed. You guys almost crapped your pants before. That's not what you want to have happen when you're just like, it's on the doorstep. It's like trying to punch through. And you're like, I'm barely going to make this. This is going to be a drop and go. And then somebody pulls a prank on you, having a snake pop out of the toilet. Oh my God, I'd be furious. Be like, you're going to have to clean this up. Oh, you're laughing now. Clean it up. All right, then there's this one would actually be cool, and I saw the picture of it. It's a light up peen Santa. So Santa Claus is peeing, and it's one of those ugly sweaters thing. But the urine stream is lighting up. Just really cool. There's a lot of great ugly sweaters. I think I don't know if I still have it. I may have donated it, but I had the Night King from Game of Thrones. It was like I don't remember what it said, but it was like some sort of Christmassy ugly sweater thing. I love that one. That was cool. Poop soap on a rope. Yeah, it looks like a turd, but it's soap on a rope. Okay? You're welcome. Sex toy that doubles as a safe. That's actually a very brilliant idea. It's a 2-for-1, right? Satisfies you both physically and emotionally, where it keeps your important things safe. You're welcome. And who's going to steal that? Who's going to break in and be like, okay, go grab the jewelry. Go grab this. Can't find anything. Well, go grab that dildo. Ah, good call. We're not leaving this place empty-handed. Is that a fleshlight? Grab it. We got it. Again, this is not a family podcast. If you have children listening that are under the age of, I don't know, 13, I'm going to damage them mentally. Okay? There's a canvas tote bag with a secret wine spigot for the alcoholic that's on the go. Could you imagine? Oh, hold on. I got to go get my special bag. Oh, God. Okay, Carol. And she's walking around just, filling up her what is that? What are those old school? Whoa. What's wrong, dog? You okay? Did you get scared? We've been having some weird stuff happening in this house. I'll get into that in a second. Remind me. You're not going to remind me. You can't talk to me. I do need to set that up somehow. Oh, my poor dog's scared. We'll get into that here in a second. Yeah, basically you have one of those, what is it? I can't think, but it's a fancy cup. And then she's like filling up her wine on the go. But it got me thinking, and I've shared this with you before. I've received some weird gifts, and they've only come from my brother, and they're funny, and obviously because I still remember them. One year, I was dating my wife, soon-to-be wife, and then he bought me, like I'm in front of my mom, my wife, and everybody, and I open up the gift from my brother, and I thought they were napkin rings, but it turns out they were cock rings. So that was nice of him. I had no idea what they were. I'm like, there's a weird variety of sizes in these. I was like, who has a napkin that big? That's disgusting. Then I'm like, I read it and I'm like, oh, you fuck. What the hell did you do? What did you buy me? And my mom's over there. What did he buy you? Honey, what did your brother buy you? Oh, those are napkin rings. Honey, we can use some of these. Chris, where'd you get these beautiful rings? They're great. Be like, I don't know. It was at Crystals. I think that's the name of a sex shop. Crystals. Anyway, so he bought me one of those once, which was funny, and then very useful. And then one time he bought me Metamucil, and then we would give it back and forth to each other. One next year I would give it to him. I think we only did it like 2 or 3 times, but I think that's funny. So you look at all these things, and it's like it would be funny to give these to people. Nate on Twitter responded when I asked what's the weirdest gift? He said a roll of pennies and a comb from a coworker. I wish there was some inside joke. Maybe there is an inside joke, Nate, and you just don't know about it. Maybe they think you have hair that needs to be combed and you need some enhancement in the pocket area. Talking about your wiener. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe they're trying to tell you something. It could be. It could be. Real quick side note, since actually we'll get into that in a second. So I think we should start buying people weird gifts every holiday season. I think it would lighten the mood. I mean, one of the best. I like doing those gift exchange type things where white elephant gifts. We do that every year with my wife's side of the family, and I love it. It's always good. And I always end up getting something just off the wall good. One year, the best person at buying stuff is my wife's Uncle Sheldon. He buys the best stuff. One year, I ended up getting, and at first I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was, what was it? It was these travel bags that you can organize your stuff and then put them in like special zipped up bags and organize your suitcase with them. And at first, I didn't use them for like a couple years. And then my wife's like, hey, I forgot about these. These would be great. We both travel quite a bit for work. And she used them and she's like, these are fantastic. So we use them all the time. They're great. And then one year, I ended up with because we always do like a limit of like 20, $25, something like that. And one year, and I still use this all the time, is a work light. It's an LED work light. And then you just plug it in and it's just this big bright light. It's amazing. I love it. I've used that plenty of times. But it got me thinking, what if you went like really weird? Like a tub of lard. Like, could you imagine if somebody's like opening a gift and they're like, oh, I can't wait to see what you get me. And then it's just like, it's a it's a block of lard. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Do they come in blocks or tubs? I want to say they're tubs of lard. Well, congratulations, you get a tub of lard. You know what? You're always talking about eating good food. Okay? Every good food, every good meal starts with a tub of lard. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Or they're opening up the gift. It's a glove. I mean, not gloves, it's a glove. You're welcome. Maybe you'll get the other one for next Christmas. Who knows? Or a toilet brush. Who doesn't clean their toilets, right? Or a gift card. This would be hilarious. And I'm sure somebody's done this before. Get somebody a gift card. And then they're like, "Oh, it's a gift card. Thank you so much." And then you're like, but you're going to have to put some money on it. It's really easy to do. You just go in there and be like, I just want to put like $25 on there. Really cool. Really easy, they told me. Okay? Happy holidays. Be like, you fucking dick. We're going to move on from that one. All right. This one's weird, and I don't know how I feel about it. All right? I'm going to tell you how this one kind of ends first. Ends with the bomb squad. Okay? So a man showed up to the I looked up how to say this, and now I can't remember how to do it. Gloucestershire Royal Hospital in severe pain in his lower body area, right around his anus, okay? The doctors discovered a foreign object lodged in the man's rectum, okay? The doctors discovered a 57 millimeter World War II era anti-tank shell up there. Just another day on the job, I'm sure. The guy said he found the shell when he was having a clear out of all his stuff. He said he put it on the floor, then he slipped and fell on it, and it went straight up his arse, as they wrote it. Okay, I'm sure doctors and nurses have heard those stories before. I told you about one of the guys I used to work with. His friend's a doctor, and he was doing something, and a patient came in, and the guy claimed that he fell on, I want to say it's a Noxema bottle, and it went straight up his butt. He allegedly claimed that he fell, and it went right up there. I'm sure that it could happen, but I just find that unlikely that would rip through your pants. Was he naked when he did it? Right? Or was the force enough where it ripped through his pants? And listen, I know that sounds kind of disgusting, but you got to think about it. Is that really logical? That it would rip through your pants and go straight up your butt? He's lucky he didn't die and this didn't pierce his intestines, which also makes me believe that he did it on purpose. Probably gently like lubed it up and like, so they were describing it. The doctors were, and they said it was a solid shot round, a chunky pointed lump of lead designed to rip through a tank's armor. He's recovering nicely. What? the fuck? So gross. Hey, real quick. So I was telling you, like, my dog just freaked out earlier, like, just all of a sudden, and he was acting like something just like nipped at him. There's no other animals in this house. So he's like, he was laying down, and then all of a sudden he just runs, and he's like, his back is kind of hunched, like he's scared shit, and he's looking backwards and trying to run forward, and he runs over behind me. So it's like something freaked him out. Maybe he farted. In all honesty, I've seen dogs freak out when they pass gas, and they're like, "What the fuck was that?" Maybe that happened. But the other night, I woke up at like 12:30 at night. I'm sitting there. I just wake up. I'm like, why am I awake? And then all of a sudden, I hear, "Dad!" I'm like, what the fuck is that? Was that? Am I hearing that? And then I hear, "Dad, come here!" I'm like, fuck. So I run downstairs. I'm like, is that? Did I really hear that? Because it wasn't like full on. I wasn't sure. Like, and it sounded like my son. So I go in his room in the basement, and I don't hear anything, and I'm like listening through his door, and then I unlock the door or open the door, and he's passed out. So the only thing, there's two explanations. One, he's either talking in his sleep, and that is a possibility because I've heard him do that before. My wife does it every now and then. It scares the shit out of me. Or there's something else going on where something is like mimicking him. It scared the shit out of me. I looked on our cameras and nothing popped up outside at that time. Because I was like, well, maybe it was somebody outside being goofy or something like that. No, nothing else came up on the cameras. I was like, that's so fucking weird. And on the camera in the basement that's right near his that points at his door, it has audio on it, and I'm listening to beforehand, and you don't hear anything. So it wasn't actually coming from his room. Weird. And there was something else that happened the other day, and I'm like, oh, jeez. Oh, no, my daughter woke up at like 10 o'clock at night, and I hadn't fallen asleep yet, and I hear her open her door, and I come out and meet her in the hallway, and she's like, there's something walking around in my room. And she starts to kind of cry because she's scared, and she's like, I'm not going back in there. I'm not sleeping in there. There's something walking around. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you know what? Just sleep next to mom. I'll sleep in your room. So I go in her room, and like I did two things. I was in there, and I'm investigating. I'm like, is there something going on? Is she hearing something outside? Is she hearing maybe the heat vent is making a weird sound? Couldn't hear it. Weird. So I slept in my daughter's bed, and that was uncomfortable because my feet hang off of it because I'm a giant. 6 foot. I'm a 6 foot giant. But yeah, it's weird. Something's going on. But I don't know what it is. I just feel bad when it worries me when things bug my kids or my wife. That bugs me. So you mess with me all you want. Don't mess with them or the dog. Dog doesn't know any better. Anyway, let's put a bow on this one. Be careful when you're eating spicy ramen. You might squirt blood out of your nose. Oh, this is what I said right after. She's like, so I'm like bleeding down my nose after like doing that weird burp thing, whatever. And I'm like cleaning myself up. And just was like, what did he eat? He ate the soup. And I'm like, don't eat the soup. My wife's like, you're an idiot. If you're going to If you don't buy gifts and you're dating somebody, just buy them something small. Buy them a keychain that says "Love ya." I don't care. Whatever it is, just fucking get it. Get them a Taco Bell gift card. Nothing says I love you like indigestion. You're welcome. Also, I think we need to start buying people weird gifts. I think it would lighten up the holidays. And it also make you go realize that we're spending a lot of money on dumb shit that people don't need. So just buy them something weird. Also, don't fall on artillery, especially with your anus. Doesn't end well. Literally, it does not end well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. And then go ahead and check us out on YouTube as well. DeHuff Uncensored. Just search that and you'll find me there. Thanks to Blake Street Tavern. Go to 23rd and Blake in downtown Denver. You're not going to regret it. It's a great atmosphere, amazing food, and amazing people too. So go check it out. 23rd and Blake in downtown. That's the Blake Street Tavern. Also, Terrapin Care Station, terrapincarestation.com. TERRAPIN carestation.com. Also, check them out. If, holidays are here. Get something different. Get them a quarter sack. I don't know, whatever. Get them something. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Have an amazing day. Let's keep moving forward. I'm down 7 pounds and I'm feeling good. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time.